It's been a while. I haven't streamed here on YouTube in a while, and so I'm happy to be back. If you just happen to land on my channel and it is your first time here, welcome. I'm so honored to have you here. If you don't know who I am, I'm Joy Rochelle. I'm an attraction empowerment coach for men. And here on this channel, it's all about empowering men to step into their masculine strength and really empower them to have a different type of experience in dating and relationships so that they can create a fulfilling life in relationships. Not just romantic, but platonic, but romantic relationships are great and dating is great because it brings up so much from our insecurities to the things that happen in childhood that come up for us to mega opportunity for growth, for expansion in this situation with this person or with these people. And so today is all about asking yourself, how do you respond to quote unquote bad dating experiences or bad breakups or relationships that started off one way, but they end up going like sour or south or not in the vision you had for that relationship when you first joined and started to create a life with this person. And so I just want to jump in here. I'm coming off a really powerful sacred plant medicine ceremony, and it has released so much. It brought up so much for me to go through, but it had released so much. And I feel much more deeply connected to myself, to my work, to being in service to men, because what was coming up for me in that ceremony was a lot around the masculine energy, my father. So I'm just so inspired to be here with you and talk about this, because when things happen to us, like bad dating experiences, bad breakups, lack of compatibility, getting in heated arguments with our person to the point where we blow up at each other and we're starting to react versus respond. And then maybe we come out that situation and we break it off with them, or they break it off with us, or they reject us. And, all these things are happening in these experiences. And we sometimes come out of these situations wanting to blame. So, ask yourself in your dating experience right now, whether you're doing it online or in person or a hybrid of both, or you're just coming out of a breakup, or you're in a relationship right now, and maybe you are in a rough patch with your woman. Ask yourself, what are you telling yourself around what happened? What stories are being created in your head? Ask yourself, what stories are you regurgitating back in your experience to your friends, to somebody, another man you're close with, or maybe another woman you're close with, to get a woman's perspective on things. What story are you telling them? How are you wording? What is your language around the situation, the experience? I'm asking you this because with the shamans that were there, the woman that had put this medicine ceremony together that I was in and was leading with the shamans, and rightfully so, even if she hasn't had training, I don't know, basically a shaman herself. But more or less, one thing she said before we started, because I was there the whole weekend, so I drank both nights. But before she started, one of the nights both nights, she actually said it in her intro and just giving, wishing us a beautiful ceremony, et cetera, stating some boundaries. One thing she said is, whatever's coming up for you in your process, when this medicine reveals things to you and things are coming up and, you're facing all of this. One question she took from A Course in Miracles, which I love, is, can you choose to see this differently? Whatever comes up for you, can you choose to see it differently? And that's really started to play in my head as I was having my own process, and this medicine was talking to me and working through me and having me purge and face all my shit. I was constantly hearing her voice, and then it turned into my own voice, and then it turned into another voice of, can you choose to see this differently? And that really got those words really came into my cells, into my being, and kept being repeated to me throughout this past weekend, throughout this ceremony. Even when I got home, it was playing in my head. I was hearing it in my meditation. And something phenomenal, actually, a few phenomenal things actually happened from her saying that, and me taking it in, absorbing it like a sponge. And so I'm now saying that to you. Can you choose to see the situation, your life, whatever is happening, whether it's in your relationships and your dating experiences, your situationships, whatever happened, can you choose to see it differently? Because like I said, when I'm witnessing, and in my own experience, especially with the last person I was dating, but when I'm witnessing, hearing online and reading comments online, a lot of us are wanting to blame, and not just men, women too. A lot of us are wanting to blame the other person, the other gender, the platform we're on, how online dating is working. Blame, 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 blame. But I want you to ask yourself, constantly come back to this question of, can I choose to see this differently? And if the answer is yes, maybe you can ask yourself, can I choose to see this in a way where I'm not giving the situation my power, where I'm also responding to it and not reacting, where it's not holding me back from diving into finding and attracting my person, attracting the woman I really want, I really desire? Is being a victim around this, and the stories I'm making up around it, and the stories I'm telling others around this situation, and maybe I'm not taking responsibility for it. Is it holding me back? Is it blocking me from experiencing love? Because at the end of the day, we all want to be loved, and also ask yourself, because I know men can easily do this, am I numbing myself from all the situations that are happening because I don't want to face it. I don't want to feel around it. So I'd rather just stay in my head and make up these stories, because maybe you've been judged for being angry. Maybe you've been judged for feeling. Maybe you've been judged for being vulnerable. Maybe you've heard from a little boy, you're not supposed to be vulnerable. That's a weakness. You're not supposed to cry. You're not supposed to feel. That's a weakness. Real men, real boys always keep it in a stoic place, and we stay here and we don't come down here. So those are the questions I have for you today, because when we are in the story, when we are constantly in our head, when we are constantly putting ourselves in a victim stance and blaming and not taking on the responsibility, and not maybe even seeing the situation, how fucked up it may be, from a place that could have helped us expand and grow and prepare us prepare you for your woman, your goddess who's coming to you. When we don't take it from that stance, are you blocking yourself from what you truly want, from what you truly desire? And one of those things I know is love, even if you don't want to admit it here publicly or to yourself. So I'm asking you today, with all the fucked up experiences, maybe even stemming from your childhood as a little boy, maybe even the first experience you had with a woman like your mother, your caregiver, leading up until now, your relationship, your marriage, your situation you're in with your girlfriend, you going out there and dating, and it's not quite happening the way you want it to. Can you choose to see all of it differently, so that you can then forward yourself and stand in your masculinity and stand in your masculine strength and show up so that you can attract the goddess, the queen that you desire, the love that you desire, the fulfilling relationship that you desire, that's going to change the trajectory of your life. Feminine energy is that powerful. It does that. A woman could literally walk in the room and change the whole fucking energy and lift it up. What man doesn't want to be a part of that? But it starts with you. It starts with you owning what has happened in the past, what's happening in the present. And it's not always going to work out perfectly That's life. That's the human experience. And that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of relationships. They're going to stretch you. Are you numbing yourself? Would you rather just be in your head with the story? Or do you want to choose to do something and see it differently? That's all I have for now. I love you. Thank you for watching. Drop your comments below. And if you like what I'm saying, I have a lot of shorts on here, a big body of work on here. Subscribe to the channel, support, come listen, come learn, come drop your comments, your insights below. And I'll see you soon. Love you. Ciao.